From Cheater's surveillance cameras, you are about to view actual true stories filmed live, documenting the pain of a spouse or lover caused by infidelity. This program is both dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted to encourage their renewal of temperance and virtue. Coming up on this episode of Cheaters.
Right there.
Ah, hell nah.
What's
going on?
What's all the
What is all this? What are you doing?
I'm studying.
Studying.
This is his girlfriend of 3 years.
What? So who are you? Once again, who are you?
Real reality television is brought to you by Cheaters Detective Agency's Private Eyes on Cheaters.
Hi, I'm Clark Gable, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Cheaters. Please welcome Irene Neal. Irene comes into Cheaters begging for answers to the warning signs raised by her boyfriend's recent actions.
Well, right now, we don't live together anymore. We moved back home, but we used to live together after our first year, so like second year, sophomore year, we moved in together. And we had an apartment on campus, and then it got really expensive, so we each moved back home. And so now that we have left apart, that's when I've noticed that we haven't really been connecting as much as we used to. I don't know if it's because the distance and we don't get to see each other every day like we used to, or like being around each other, but I think it really took a toll on our relationship.
Kenneth Kilborn, age 22. A college student accused of taking other courses with another woman. After a quick meeting at headquarters, Cheaters deploys a team of investigators to stake out the home the suspect shares with his parents. After settling in for the night, Cheaters' private eyes spot their target as he leaves. Kilborn drives across town to another neighborhood. The suspect arrives at an unidentified residence. Cheaters watches as Kilborn walks to the front door. A short time later, the suspect emerges with his arm wrapped around an unknown female. The Cheaters mobile unit follows Kilborn and his date to a family entertainment center. Kilborn and his consort enter the building.
One night I called him and he didn't pick up the phone, so I was wondering where he was. I sent him a text message and no reply, so the next morning he texted me and he was like, "Oh, sorry baby, I fell asleep early. This work has got me tired and whatnot." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, he's not an early sleeper. He's a night owl. He'll stay up till like 5 a.m. So I thought it was weird. But then at the time, I just kind of let it go because it didn't seem important at the time. And then later on that day, I'm talking to my friend, and then I'm talking with a group of friends, and one of the other girls was like, "Oh, I saw Kenneth out." And I'm just like, "Really?" And so when I brought it back up to his attention, he was like, "Oh, no, I don't know. I guess she's got confused about what I look like or who Kenneth is. Maybe there's like another Ken." And I was just like, at the time, it didn't make sense, and it was, what he was saying was not making sense or adding up or sounding any type of logical. But there was nothing I could show him to be like, "Hey, that's not what's true."
Kilborn and his companion spend some quality time among the games. The two eventually end up getting close in a photo booth. Sometime later, the couple leaves holding hands. Cheaters trails the suspect and his unknown lady back to the female's residence. Kenneth drops the woman off. Cheaters tails him back to his parents' house.
Ignorance is not bliss when it comes to cheating, because just because you don't know that they're cheating, I feel like wherever he goes, whoever he's with, whatever public setting, you don't know when your friends are gonna walk through, you don't know when his friends are gonna walk through, then it becomes a whole big joke and everybody talks about it and everybody knows except for you. And the feeling of people watching you walking together in the hallways, holding hands, kissing, this and that, and knowing in the back of their mind that they just saw him out with another girl, that is embarrassing, disrespectful, and not worth it. I'd rather know from the beginning than to be the only one to be played the fool and everybody else is laughing at me.
Cheaters operators stick to the stakeout of the suspect's parents' home. Investigators observe the suspect as he leaves his residence. Kilborn soon arrives at his companion's home. The suspect picks up the lady from previous surveillance, now identified as Carrie Perez. Shadowed by Cheater's detectives, Kilbourne and Perez travel to a restaurant. The pair holds hands as they walk toward the entrance. Kilbourne politely holds the door for his new flame. Inside the restaurant, the suspect gets comfy as he wraps his arm around his date's shoulders. Sometime later, with smiles on their faces, the illicit couple leaves. Kilbourne and Perez drive the return route back to Perez's home. The suspect says goodnight to his paramour. Cheaters follows the young man back to his parents' home. Spotting the trend in Kilbourne's actions, Cheater's agents continue to stake out the suspect's home. Kilbourne leaves for the night. The suspect takes the now familiar route to his lover's home. The young man greets Perez with a quick kiss and hug. The two drive away, pursued tightly by their cheater's tail. Investigators make a false assumption when the cinema lights come into view. Kilbourne and Perez park in an obscure area of the parking lot. Cheater's observers capture footage of the suspect and his companion as they play around in the car. After some time, Kilbourne and Perez leave the movie parking lot. The suspect drives his companion home. As Kilbourne returns to his parents' home, Cheaters return to headquarters to make a fateful call to Irene.
Coming up, the confrontation.
Now that all malfeasance of the suspect have been documented, Cheaters places a call to Irene. Hopeful that the fears are all in her head, Irene prepares to face the truth.
First thing I'd like to say, Irene, is, I understand that there's a lot of things going on in your relationship, so we'll just cut right to the chase. So I just want to make sure that you're ready to see what we've come up with.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm so ready right now.
All right.
Just want to get it. Ooh.
Irene, we begin our investigation outside of Kenneth's parents' home. We see him walk out, he gets into his vehicle, and he leaves. As Kenneth drives away, he arrives at another neighborhood, gets out, and he walks up to this home, goes to the front door. A short time later, we see him emerge with this unknown female in a white jacket. He has his arm around her. They get into Kenneth's vehicle together. They arrive at a family entertainment center, park the vehicle, and walk inside together, holding hands. They then play some air hockey.
Who is that?
After a few moments in that family center, they leave together, holding hands, get into the vehicle. They return to her residence where he drops her off, and then he goes home. Continuing on with our investigation, Irene, we begin outside of Kenneth's parents' home. Sometime later, he comes out, gets into his car, and leaves. He arrives at that same home and picks up that unknown female again. As our detectives follow the two of them, they arrive at a restaurant, park the vehicle, and walk inside together, holding hands. You still don't recognize that woman?
She is not at all familiar. He really is smiling.
They go inside the diner, sit down together in the same booth next to each other. During this time, Irene, he receives a phone call. What you're about to hear is the audio from that conversation.
Okay.
Hey, man, what are you doing? Nothing. I had to take a shit to the store real quick. Oh, really? Yeah, what's up? Oh, nothing. I was just headed to bed. I wanted to see how your day was. Oh, my day? I'm going good. It's nice to hear your voice. You too. I miss you. What have you been lately? I had to get out of park. As soon as I got out of park, I had to receive me to FilmRise. Hey, let me finish up there so I can get back, and I'm afraid to call you right back. All right.
I knew he was lying. I should have known. Rashid got his own car.
Yeah, he gets off the phone with you after completely lying, saying he has to finish up things at work, returns to the diner, walks right inside, sits right back down next to this unknown female. After they finish up at the diner, you see her smiling as he escorts her out of the restaurant. They get into his vehicle and they leave. As our detectives follow the two of them, they return to her residence where he drops her off and then he goes home. Irene, to get right down to things, because we're running out of time here, Kenneth arrived at a restaurant cafe where this woman was waiting. They're there together right now. We get there fast enough, we can confront the two of them.
Of course. Let's go.
I'll be right by your side, and we're coming up on it. It's right here on the right. Make a right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, everybody out.
Right.
Here, go ahead. Let's get her up in front.
Where are they? Where are they? Where are they?
Right there, right there, right there. Right there.
Ah, hell nah. Ah, hell nah.
Oh, that's cute. What's going on?
What's all of this?
What is all this? What are you doing?
I'm studying.
Oh, studying?
I'm
Oh, the studying?
Yes.
Are you sure? Not trying to quench your thirst? Not trying to quench your Look at a little
What
thirsty there?
Hey, bro,
What
get out of here, bro. Hey, chill, bro, bro. Back up, man.
Kenneth, who is this?
Back up, man. Back up.
Kenneth, who is
Hey,
this?
hey, back up.
What are you doing?
Bro, what the?
Who are you? What is going on?
Man, where my change at, man? Watch out, man. Watch out, bro.
Kenneth, who is this?
Who are you?
This is his girlfriend of 3 years.
What? So who are you? Once again.
Who are you?
His girlfriend? Who are you?
Watch out. Hey,
Kenneth, what is going on?
Baby, watch out.
Baby?
What?
She your baby now?
Nah.
She your baby?
Watch out. Watch
What
out.
is going on?
Watch
Who
out.
are you? What are you doing here?
Man.
Coming up next, the conclusion.
Kenneth arrived at a restaurant where this woman was waiting. Right there.
Ah, hell nah.
What's going on?
This is his girlfriend of 3 years.
What? So who are you? Are you deaf? Can you not hear? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? I mean, chill. Chill. What the? Chill. What the? Chill. What the? Y'all going?
Man, get out my face, man.
Where y'all finna go?
Kenneth, why are you running?
Kenneth, where you going?
Kenneth, who's
I got no
this?
questions for you.
Hey, Kenneth. Kenneth, is this you?
Kenneth!
Kenneth, is this you?
Who's that, Kenneth? Is that you?
Is that you?
You the one that need glasses now, Kenneth? You can't see?
Talking about, man?
You can't see?
What you talking about, man?
Bitch,
You can't.
Kenneth, is this you?
get your...
Back up, man. Just come over here, man.
No, just
No,
go
hold on.
Go
Talk.
Tell me
her.
what's going on.
What
Ain't
happened?
nothing going on.
So you guys haven't been together for 3
You
years.
ain't got no Instagram? How you gonna be with somebody without no Instagram? We was there.
I'll tell you.
Why
Come
you
here.
keep
In the
talking,
red,
man?
come here. I'll tell you
Just
exactly
go
what
over there.
happened.
Go calm down.
What happened?
Go calm down.
You calm
Listen,
down.
go back to your
he's been together with her for 3 years. They both moved home after college, but they were still together. So that is exactly why we're here. He's been distant for the past couple months. He obviously, did he tell you he had a girlfriend?
I got my shoes messed
So
up.
he lied to you and he cheated on her. He's been with her since high school. That is his high school
Well,
sweetheart.
obviously
Man, what y'all
something
talking?
isn't working out with him because he's with me.
Relax. Am I yelling at
You're
you?
not yelling at me, but y'all
So
causing all this extra commotion.
let me just show
You
you.
got hurt. What y'all showing me?
I'll show you right now. You want to see
Man,
it?
back up, man. Y'all security supposed to be controlling all this. Y'all ain't doing nothing. What y'all even got security for if they gonna keep fighting?
You look pretty happy right there with your arm around her.
Okay, that was me.
That was
Honestly,
you?
That's me.
Oh, that was you?
That was what?
That was you?
Talking about.
That's you?
Nothing, man. She live with her mama. Man, she good, bro.
Okay, so hey,
Leave
who's
her alone,
this?
man.
What, who
When you
was that?
step
Kenneth?
out
Tell him.
and you get this conversation right here, when you say it was your brother,
Man.
this doesn't sound like your brother. You should listen.
Harley? Yeah, what's up? Oh, nothing. I'm headed to bed. I want to see how your day was.
Man, that was.
Stop, let me listen.
Damn, man. I was doing good, man.
Keep in mind, you're inside, sitting at the table.
And that's a
That's a liar.
who is she? What are you doing? What are you talking about? You love me. You love me?
Oh, you love her? You love her, Kenneth?
But you're what?
You
You're
love
with
her, Kenneth?
What's going on, Kenneth?
love her?
What's going on,
Oh, you
Kenneth?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Who been with you for
I'm
3 years,
sorry.
Kenneth?
I'm
No,
sorry.
you
I'm
love her,
sorry.
Kenneth?
Look.
No,
I'm
Kenneth.
sorry.
Who
I'm
was
sorry.
with you
I'm
when you
sorry.
had all that going on? Who
It's
been with you
okay.
since the
You was my
beginning?
best friend. I love you.
You love her too,
Dang.
apparently.
What you talking about?
You told her you love her. Don't do that
Come
to
on,
me.
I'm gonna just go for 4
No.
months. Really?
4 months? You've been talking to her for 4 months. Since we moved out, y'all start talking. Is that what you say right now?
Listen.
Is that what you say
Calm
right
down.
now?
Take a deep breath.
So,
Calm down.
Why don't you tell her about it? If
Tell
I'm
her
your
about
girl.
what?
If she your study buddy.
Let's
If
go,
she your study
Kenneth.
buddy.
What
What are you doing?
What are you
No.
doing? Talking to
You
her.
didn't tell me
What are you talking
nothing
about?
about this girl.
Well, I don't need to tell you.
Yes, you do.
Man, what? I'm not. Man, come on,
Have
bro.
a seat.
No.
We
Are you
just
serious?
decided.
No.
We just decided.
I don't care what.
Just decided what? What the hell?
Kenneth?
Get this crazy.
Hey, what's wrong with that girl, man? What the? Get that.
Deserve.
What do you?
Bitch.
Hey, y'all gonna let that happen?
I'm done.
All right, you ready?
I'm off.
You got everything you need? You want your laptop?
Yeah.
Oh, you want your laptop?
You're gonna replace
This
this.
laptop? Was this yours? Was this yours? Was this?
Back off,
Where's
man.
that
Back
shit?
off.
Get
Telling me this is
You crushed her life.
talking about, bro. I need that for school. Bro.
You need that for school?
I need that for school.
That's worth money.
Y'all gonna replace.
Priceless.
Y'all gonna replace that. Y'all gonna
You want
replace
this
that.
We're not going to replace anything.
Calm down. Calm down.
Relationship and all that other.
Damn. Like you need to take a chill pill.
Everyone, let's load up. Let's get out of here.
Where you going?
I'm not doing this,
Where
Kenneth.
you going?
You find a
what
ride
you
home.
talking
Find a
about?
ride home. I'm not doing this.
Oh, bro, come on, man.
Our relationship is over.
Listen, I understand that, but you know what? You got to realize that he's disrespected you on all different levels.
Distraught by the lack of compassion by the suspect, Irene makes the ultimate decision. Later, Cheaters informs you on her choice. But now, Spencer Davis comes in to reveal the aftermath of his relationship since he was caught with his friend's former girlfriend on Cheaters.
When the crew came in with Robert, it was shocking. It was something I didn't expect. Everything went by so fast. I really don't have much memory of that night, but I was like, dang, here's Robert. She's not dressed.
What is this? Is your name Gemma? You nod your head. Is that your boyfriend? Do you live with him? So why are you chained to this contraption? If I take that out, will you talk to me? Okay, you do realize they're fighting behind you all because of you, right? Let me take this off of you.
Robert was a friend of mine. I haven't talked to him since that night. He was a good friend, but over the years, I think, just as friends usually do, you kind of drift apart, and I think this was just the final straw that pretty much ended our friendship. Things probably could have been handled a little bit better, maybe on her side, maybe on my side. I guess we'll never know. Past is the past now. I just got to look forward to the future.
That's you.
That's me.
That's you having sexual intercourse with your boyfriend's good friend.
Yes. He makes me feel.
What's wrong with that?
Really?
Really?
Gemma, I think you owe him a couple answers to, what you've done.
I'm sorry.
Don't touch
I didn't mean for this to happen this
Kiss
way.
my ass.
What exactly happened? Who aggressed who? Did she aggress you? I mean, who?
It's kind of a mutual thing.
I do care about you.
You can have a nice
are
life.
sweet.
Off. We're done.
Gemma and I are doing great. A couple days later, we started talking, and since then, we've kind of been seeing each other pretty regularly. We're talking about spending the rest of our lives together, probably getting married. We get along great. She's a good girl. I can't imagine being with anybody else right now.
Disgusted and angered by the suspect's actions, Irene Neal breaks off the relationship. Irene states to Cheaters' producers, "I actually feel relieved now that I know what he was doing. And since it's on Cheaters, now everybody else knows too." Irene claims that although it hurts, she knows in her heart that she has the ability to move past this and everything will be okay. When questioned by Cheaters' producers, the suspect admits his fault. However, Kilbourne does not place the bulk of blame on moving out. Speaking candidly to Cheaters, Kilbourne states, "Once we moved out of the apartment, it felt like we were breaking up. I just didn't say anything to Irene. I probably should have, but I didn't want to hurt her feelings." Kilbourne still attempts to contact Irene. The suspect's companion refused to discuss the case with Cheaters' producers, except to make clear that she no longer sees the suspect.
If you don't get your programming from Goldstein's, why, we'll both lose money.